This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us. Check out IWC, RWA, and more. And listeners like you, support this show at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Hungry as fuck, but I ain't starving yet. Chain for the pain, cocktail dog set. Never said I was a gangster or thug, but I'm an animal. Feeding for the taste of the blood.
Hey guys, it is the Indy Mayhem Show. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA. And this is a show we talk with people in and around professional wrestling, independent professional wrestling usually. And we have already a lot of people in the chat room here alive on the IndyWrestling.us Facebook page. We've got a very, very special guest, an old friend of the Wrestling Mayhem Show podcast. Well, not long time friend. But of course, please, before that, we get to that, please go check out WrestlingMayhemShow.com and IndyWrestling.us. That's where you'll find some great content, other great wrestling podcasts, as well as a lot of video that features a lot of people we talk to on these shows. So if you're introduced to some of them the first time, we tell a story about some match or another. A lot of times those are going to be featured over there and explore so much new talent that, hey, might be on your TV, might be in your town, wherever, sooner or later. And you can drop us a line, good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com and 412-206-WMS0. Let us know if you have any questions for anybody we have announced for future guests. Or if there's anybody you think we should be talking to or any roundtable discussions you think we should be having, please let us know there. And we can definitely try to connect with those ideas as you hit up. Hey, we can't watch all the wrestling guys. And that's where we're kind of depending on you guys to help us out and see who are we missing a conversation with. Well, one guy that I've never missed a conversation with is John McChesney, joining us on the line from Erie, PA. I heard you referred to as the mayor of Erie, PA the other night.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people seem to keep saying. I'm not quite mayor yet, but in another 20 years, you never know.
You never know. Hey, that sounds like a good. That sounds like a good next step. I mean, how many wrestlers have become like? I mean, Kane's doing it.
Yeah, I could be the next Kane. You know. If I have to grow another foot and add another 100 pounds, but I could be the next Kane. You never know.
You could. Oh, man. But anyways, the reason we have you on here this week, of course, we've talked so much about your wrestling career in the past, but you have gone from that to owning a company, running a company up there in Erie. You're coming up, as we're talking, this Saturday is your 1-year anniversary, and I've only been hanging with you guys up there since December, and it's been such a blast to see what you guys are doing up there and what's happening. Tell me a little bit about, okay, first, what is the inkling of, as much as you can tell me, of saying, hey, I want to be in control of one of these damn things?
Well, that was never the thought 18 years ago when I started wrestling whatsoever. But even before I became a pro wrestler, I would run backyard shows or two at my house and in a couple places around Erie. But when I actually got into the game of wrestling, I said I never wanted to promote shows. Mm-hmm. And then, but I also had a good core of friends that did run shows in Erie. There was Intense Championship Wrestling. There's Pro Wrestling Rampage, ran by a gentleman named Jamie Scott and Mike Roberts for plenty of years. And when they got out of doing the PWR a year ago or so, myself and Aaron Draven, I'll make Aaron Draven, we just felt like the trajectory of wrestling in Erie was going to go downhill. And as a representative of pro wrestling in my hometown, I could not let that happen. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where it started for me. Again, I never really thought I'd be a promoter or want to do it. But when I saw what might be represented as pro wrestling in Erie, I could not let that happen. And I wanted to just kind of be a part of running something at that point. It's really hard to explain, honestly, because like I said, I never thought of doing it, and I got kind of thrust into it out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And then it's working. I mean, here we are a year later. I mean, it's been a fast whirlwind. But I will say, I have learned from many great guys in this tri-state area, from Jamie Scott to Norm Connors. Obviously, I've learned a lot from him. To Chuck Roberts, the one and only, and maybe a touch from Justin Plummer. But I don't know. It's been a fun year.
That's awesome. Because even right out of the gate, I remember a year ago just starting to see these like cards of these social media cards pop up of so and so wants revenge. And it was a lot of like faces we knew from here in Pittsburgh, maybe up in Cleveland, other areas too. But it was enough to kind of say, "Oh wait, what is this?" And I didn't know you were behind it at the time. I don't think I knew that until maybe a month or so after your show. I found out it was you, and I don't think I knew Draven was part of it until maybe we started talking about doing video, perhaps. But
right, absolutely. No, when it first started, I didn't want to be like, "Hey, I'm doing this," because again, I wasn't my intention to ever run shows.
It's not McChesney Pro, right?
No, I don't want it to ever. No, yeah, exactly. I never want it to be like that because I'm not in the game of putting myself over by any means. Yes, I am on the shows. Yes, I've been wrestling for the championship, obviously, stuff like that. But my intentions of when I decided to do this were not to put myself over. It was to provide one of the best products that you can see in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't want my name out there immediately with it because I wanted to see how it went. But now I'm very proud of it now. And I think it's a good combination. Like you said, you've seen some guys from Pittsburgh, some from Cleveland, some from Buffalo. As obviously you've known me since 2001,
mm-hmm.
I was wrestling down in Pittsburgh in this tri-state area. In Erie, PA, if you think about it, we are an hour and a half from Pittsburgh, an hour and a half from Cleveland, and an hour and a half from downtown Buffalo. We are dead center right on Lake Erie. And I think what I'm proud about Revenge is we've taken some of the best from IWC in Pittsburgh, some of the best from Empire State Wrestling in Buffalo, some of the best from AIW in Cleveland, and we've concentrated it right in the center. I want to say kind of like the heart of it right here in Erie. And yes, it's only been a year compared to all those companies being all here for 10 plus years. But, after 18 years of wrestling, I am happy to put a stamp on it and showcase the best wrestling around right in the middle of it all.
That is one of the things. A few months ago, I know there was a picture, and I don't know how publicly shared this was, but there was a picture in the back of everybody with their belts. And it was like representation of all of those companies you mentioned, and I think more. Remix Pro, I think, was part of that as well.
Yes, 100%. Yes, yeah. Remix Pro has helped us tremendously. Omega, my partner here, he's been the Remix Riot Championship. We had Facade, the Neon Ninja. He defended his Remix Pro Heavyweight title on our show. That's kind of where this whole 1 year anniversary comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
When we started this, we didn't have a championship belt, and obviously the main event of this Saturday show is the 6-man gauntlet to crown the first ever Revenge champion. I've been to a lot of companies throughout the years, in the 18 years, where people, you start a new company and they just make a championship immediately.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want to do that right away. That's why we showcased IWC championships, AIW championships, ESW championships, Remix championships. We showed you that we can provide the best champions and wrestlers this tri-state area has to offer for this whole year. And it's all going to culminate to this Saturday, where we are not doing that anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, we're still going to provide those champions. They may not be defending their titles on our show, but now we are crowning one true Revenge champion, and that will be the man in this area.
That's awesome. It's cool to see that. And it seems to be happening more with promotions. I'm seeing where there are champions walking in with their belts, and getting that kind of we're in this together vibe a bit.
Yeah, this is the cheesiest thing in the world. I'm sure everybody's heard of it. The teamwork makes the dream work, man.
Yep.
I've been wrestling for so long, and when I started wrestling, independent wrestling was not as popular as it is right now, but I remember vividly in every city you'd go to, there'd be 1, 2, 3 promotions all in the area, and they all hated each other and wanted to fight each other and wanted to do this. Nobody wanted to grow together.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last few years, with AEW coming along and everything with WWE growing with NXT and New Japan, it seems that more and more teamwork is happening, which is what I wanted to incorporate in this, because if you haven't noticed, it's blowing up around this area. And if we work together, more eyes see it. If you want to hate on each other, you're going to divide everybody. I'd like to get everybody into one place at one time. So
Absolutely. A lot of people in the chat saying hello. Chris O'Shea is up there. Jordy's out there hanging out with us here tonight. A lot of people I know that we see at those shows and everything too. So, and speaking of the shows, so the crowds, the one thing that impressed me first, this is, not in a basketball court, not in a gymnasium. Like, you guys are at a hotel right in the heart downtown of Erie, PA. And I know that was a big... that was a big point to do those shows in downtown Erie.
Yeah. To try to be a little sentimental, that's where I'm from. I was born and raised in Erie, Pennsylvania. I moved away for a while, but I've been here again. I love my city. I'm very proud of my city. It's a smaller town, but I love it. And the Avalon has been around for over 60, 70 years. And years ago, it was a big staple in Erie, the Avalon Hotel that's on 10th State where we run our shows. And I remember as a kid, every single year, the night before Thanksgiving, there would be a huge boxing card at this place in the ballroom that we are running now. And every single year, this place would be crazy packed. And it was awesome. And I had a just blast doing it. And when I started wrestling years ago, I always wanted to wrestle there myself. Granted, I never wanted to be the promoter back then, but I always wanted to say, hey, I wrestled at the same place I used to watch boxing all the time. And a very good friend of mine a year and a half ago or a year ago or so, gave us the offer to be able to go into that venue, and it's been great. It's awesome in there. I don't even know how to explain it. It's not a gymnasium, like you said. It's not at a gymnasium. It's not in a Legion Hall. It's not, outside. It's in this hotel. They have a ballroom. They have 2 restaurants. They have a nice club. It's all incorporated into one big event, not just a wrestling show. We do a nice little after party after it. I want people that aren't just wrestling fans to come to these events. I love the wrestling fans, and I think true wrestling fans will always want to come watch wrestling. But I want people that aren't just interested in wrestling in general to come to all these events. And if we can have a venue that can promote more than just the show, I think it's great.
Awesome. And you guys are packing in. I think it's been well over 400 about every time I've been there since December.
Absolutely, and we're on track to do that again this Saturday. We've had a very good pre-sale. I mean, it is the middle of the summer, but I don't know if you've been following our Facebook. They have heavy-duty air conditioning, according to our post a couple of days ago.
That is good, because we did advertise air conditioning at 2 of the shows that we were working at, and I don't know how much it actually helped, other than maybe it could have been worse.
Right. I hear you. No, but it's it's going to be good. The Avalon's been great to us. It is a nice venue because it's different. It's a ballroom setting. It's a little more intimate. We can fit, we've had 400 to 500 people in there. We could fit up to 1,000 if we need to, which is what we're hoping for this Saturday. And,
wow.
It's just fun. It's just different. It's right downtown. It's directly downtown. If you walk outside of the Avalon, our baseball field is 2 blocks away. Our civic center is 3 blocks away. Restaurants, bars, other hotels are all right there. I've done so many shows in this tri-state area where you walk outside and it's just nothing. And I just think it's pretty cool that it's a centralized location. It's bringing a little bit of business to the area, because Erie's a smaller town. We need stuff like this. So it's cool to have it in the heart of it.
Absolutely. So also it's carpeted.
Yeah. There's a carpet. So nobody, never mind. I was going to say nobody can crack their head on the floor, but
yeah. Anyways, no, it's really good. A really cool vibe up there. So, normally I kind of ask people some career questions, but man, we got to talk about like this bit. So what is the biggest thing you've learned the first year of running your own shows after so many years being just the guy in the ring?
And this goes for me and from, I want to say this to my partner as well, to not jump to conclusions, to calm down a little bit. A lot of times when you're booking people and doing things, somebody can say something and do something, you get real fired up and say something crazy right away about it. Mm-hmm. But it's more to calm down, take a breath, because you can work it out as long as you have good communication with people. When it comes to running shows, if you have partners, you're going to fight with each other. There's no way around it. I don't care what anybody says. There's no way around it. but it's to take what somebody says, take a step back, breathe, think about it before you react to it. Because at first, something would come up and I'd freak out about it and stress myself out. But as it gets, more and more, we seem to be learning how to do this more. And if I take a second to think about what I'm being told by different talent or different people that are running venues, or it's, I can take it a little bit better, I guess.
Sounds like a good life lesson there.
Right. Yeah. It's true though.
Excellent. So of course, big show this weekend. You already mentioned there's going to be the new Revenge Pro Championship that's going to be a part of this. Tell me what people can expect if they're checking out here live, or if they're not getting Erie, definitely checking it out on VOD or DVD afterwards. But what can people expect this week?
They can expect one hell of a show. I first want to thank Andrew Lecherzik and Wildcat Championship Belts for the wonderful creation that they made us. The championship belt that we will be presenting this weekend is beautiful. It's 24 karat plated gold, real leather. It is one of the best titles that I've ever seen in my entire career. So that's the first thing that you can, picture that night. Is we're presenting a championship with a true championship belt on the line. The main event is myself versus Wardlow versus Bill Collier versus Omega Aaron Draven versus Colin Delaney versus Kevin Bennett in a 6-man gauntlet. 2 people start the match. When one loses, they leave. Another guy comes out. Omega has the biggest odds against him. He has to start the match at number 1. Of course, since I run the show, I'm number 6 and give myself the best odds. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, there's that match. We have Dylan Bostic. He's coming in to wrestle PB Smooth, who's been killing it all over the place. We have the huge 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. Team LaRusso versus the Dude Brood, ran by Rex Brody, the stuntman. We have, Megan Myers is making her debut in that match, which I'm very interested in to see. Some of the videos that she's been putting out lately are quite creepy. So there's that. We have the debut of Atticus Cogar, who is by far one of the best wrestlers in this area lately. I've only seen a few of his matches, but every one of them have been amazing that I've seen. We have Andrew Palace versus the captain, Nick Ando, who's from up in Rochester. That right there is just part of what I was saying earlier, where that's a guy, one of the absolute best wrestlers in Pittsburgh, Andrew Palace versus the captain, Nick Ando, who's absolutely one of the best wrestlers from upstate New York.
Absolutely.
And they're both incredible personalities, but they're incredible wrestlers at the same time. And you won't see that anywhere else around.
No.
You know what I mean?
And I got to say, I actually got to meet Nick Ando up in Rochester about a month or so ago. And it was really cool. They have a great place, Pop Rock up there. And then saw him later that night to just do a killer match with another guy that I think is a veteran of the Rochester area as well. Again, seeing that little Rochester, New York wrestling microcosm. I know you're up in that area a lot too.
Oh yeah, I have been. I lived in Rochester, New York for 4 to 5 years.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. No, I used to train up there a lot with those guys, and that's why it was a long time ago in my career. But that's what's, like I said, that's like with my career, I've traveled a decent amount of areas, so I've met a lot of guys, which helps with this promoting thing because I can talk to guys from all these different areas and bring them together where, a lot of times it's very centralized to their city or their surrounding 50, 60 miles where I can, with this, myself and Aaron and Mike and Jamie can bring people together from all over the tri-state area, it's kind of cool. I'm looking forward to more of that after this 1-year anniversary. So
awesome.
Oh, you know what? No, and you asked me, we also have the debut of 2 guys that I haven't seen much. We have Daniel Eads, who I believe you've seen before.
Oh, I have. I've seen a lot of Daniel Eads.
Okay, and I hear he's incredible. Now,
yes.
Me personally, I've never seen him in person. He comes with very high regard from one of our fellow Revenge wrestlers, which is why we're bringing Daniel Eads in here. And I'm really looking forward to that. And then we have also a guy named Jake Ullman, who's from the Midwest area. he was recently over in Japan, and he's coming here. Now, I've never seen him in person, but I'm really looking forward to showcasing, like, again, stuff in the Tri-State area, and then here and there, things that most people haven't seen around here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely.
So there's that.
And also, if you're on here with video, here's a look at that championship belt that he was discussing earlier. It looks amazing.
It is. It's beautiful. I mean, it's huge. I'll tell you, it is big, and it's going to look wonderful around my waist.
A nice classic big gold belt.
That's right, big gold. What do they call it? Big Goldie.
Big Goldie.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, that is this week. Hey, what is, you kind of gave a little bit of the tips there, but what is the best and the worst thing about running your own show for a year?
The best, the worst part about it is the stress.
Mm-hmm.
The best part about it is being there that night and watching 500 or more people smile and have the time of their lives. I did a little news thing earlier today on our local news, and I didn't know what clips they were going to show, and they showed one of our fans. We always call her Big League Jayla, but they closed up on her, and she's sitting there smiling, sticking her tongue out at wrestlers, and just, like, no cares in the world. That's the best part, is watching people have fun, watching the support we're getting, because, again, I've been doing this for a long time, and I never thought I'd get more than 10 people through the door if I was going to run shows. And the fact that we've had 400 to 500 every time, it makes my day, and it makes my heart bigger, because pro wrestling is what I've loved since I was a little kid.
I love it. I love that two of the guys that you're one of the two guys that were at the first wrestling show I ever went to in the Pittsburgh area, and now are running their own shows and both just killing it there. The Marshall Gambino, who I know you work with Revenge a little bit as well.
Yeah,
Marshall's
real quick. Marshall is an absolute MVP.
Absolutely,
in the game of professional wrestling, 100%. And I thank him for everything he's done for us, and will do in the future. I love that guy, man. He's. Yeah, it's great.
And also, we were joking about it on text a little bit, but I do believe the first thing I ever saw of independent wrestling in Pittsburgh was one fabulous John McChesney getting his chest caved in the first time by Low Key when IWC used to run on local TV over here.
Yeah, that was the night of Super Indy 4. Hey, you know what though? As much as it got caved in, that was the night that helped me get a little name out there. That was the night I wrestled CM Punk, I wrestled Glenn Spector, and then I wrestled Loki all in one night, and my chest was black and blue for about a month after that. But it was well worth it.
That's awesome. Hey, always a good time going up the Erie. I know I haven't been up there for the last couple of shows, but always good to get back up there. I know the crew's been taking care of you in my absence, so looking forward to it.
You guys have been doing a great job. We want to thank you as well for everything you've been doing for us. Can I say one last thing? That tickets are still available at the door that night. Mm-hmm. The pre-sale did go. It did end tonight, but there are still a couple second row seats left. Front row is sold out. You can get them at the door. The Avalon Hotel is on 10th and State in Erie, Pennsylvania. There are a few hotel rooms left. If you call the hotel and you mention that you are wanting a room through Revenge, the rate is only $79.99 for that night. I would hurry soon because there's not many rooms left. We are having a big after party right outside in the mezzanine there. We normally do it in the club, but with the weather being nice, we're doing it at a nice little outside after party. Nice. It's free admission with your ticket to the show, and it's going to be an unbelievable night. 1 year in, and I can't wait.
Looking forward. John McChesney, Big League John McChesney, a.k.a. Mayor of Erie.
Yep.
Look forward. We'll see you guys Saturday. And, of course, please go check out Revenge Pro. And if you want to check out any of the past stuff from Revenge Pro, there are clips and matches on both their YouTube, IndyWrestling.us's YouTube, and both of our Facebook pages. And, of course, everything's available on VOD for rent or purchase over on our Vimeo, IndyWrestling.us page. And I think DVDs through you guys as well going on, too. So go check it out. You will not be disappointed. If you go to any of those promotions in any of those towns that we just talked about, it is the best of all worlds. So go check it out. Thank you so much, McChesney, for joining us. And And until next
No,
time.
I'll be quiet. Don't worry.
Until next time, please support Indy Wrestling. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.